Hello everyone, this is Wes Harrison with Above and Beyond Auto Repair, and today I'm on my way home from Colorado from doing some indoor skydiving training, and I'm making a bunch of videos about the most frequently common asked questions that I get. Now this video I'm going to talk about fuel injection systems, what they are and how they work. A fuel injection system is basically the computerized equivalent of an old-fashioned carburetor. The fuel injection system determines how cold it is outside, how much fuel it'll take to make the car run and start, how to efficiently give you maximum power at the best gas mileage, and it does it all electronically. The fuel injector itself is a mechanical solenoid that is pulsed open and closed by the quad drivers in the computer, which is just computer controlled. The computer uses several different sensors to determine the optimum amount of time to either hold the fuel injector open or closed, depending on which system it's using. Normally fuel injectors are held closed, and how long they're held open for it determines how much gas gets introduced into the combustion chambers or the cylinder head down into the combustion chambers. It also requires good fuel pressure. There's a few different things that go wrong with fuel injection systems that are real basic. The most common fuel injection system failure, believe it or not, is a plugged fuel filter. Always keep it simple. Always change your fuel filter once a year. I tell everybody, change your fuel filter once a year. Your fuel pump and your fuel injection system will love you, because nobody ever changes their fuel filters. They just don't think about it, or for whatever reason. And just because you put on a brand new fuel filter, if you get gas at one of the off-brand gas stations and all of a sudden you're having fueling issues, it could be because there's sediments down in their tanks, and their pumps ran, or their tanks ran all the way down, and their pumps picked up all that sediment and pumped it into your car. There was a gas station for years. People would come in and say, oh, I've got a problem. Where was the last place you got gas? And they would tell me, or I would tell them, did you get gas over by? And they would, yeah, we sure did. And I'm like, well, don't get gas there anymore, because this is what happened. And the gas station wouldn't do anything about it. But long story short, it'd plug up their fuel filter, so I just changed the fuel filter, and good to go, back on the road again. Your fuel injection system also is very heavily reliant upon accurate readings from the coolant temp sensor, the mass airflow meter, and the ambient air temperature sensor. Those three things work in combination to tell the computer how much fuel to add to the engine so they can run efficiently. Then, after the computer's done all that, it uses the O2 sensor to determine whether any corrections need to be made to the above formula that it used from the parameters from the other three sensors. Now, if one of those three sensors is reading inaccurately, the computer will inaccurately determine the amount of fuel, and then the O2 sensor will say, hey, we're either got way too much or we don't have enough. And then the computer will adjust accordingly. Now, there's a whole bunch of variables and a whole bunch of stuff that I'm not going to go into. I just want to give you the basic explanation of how it works. So when it's real cold outside, the coolant temp sensor and the ambient air temperatures are within those two sensors are within 4 degrees of each other. So the computer looks at it and says, okay, it really is 38 degrees outside. So based on 38 degrees, we know we're going to have to add a lot of fuel to get the car to initially start. And so the computer holds the fuel injectors open a little bit longer than normal to add the extra fuel that's required to get the car to start when it's cold, kind of like turning on the choke. If one of those two sensors isn't reading right and the computer's not sure, you may have a cold start problem. Well, on your cold start problem, it may not be the injectors. It could be one of those two sensors. So before you start replacing injectors and all kinds of other stuff, we have to determine if the computer's getting the accurate information. The easiest way to do that is have a scanner that gives you all the numbers and let the car sit overnight until it's cold. Then you can look at everything and go, oh, okay. And if you look at the coolant temp sensor and it's saying 68 degrees, the ambient air temperature is saying 38 degrees, and you look at the thermometer and it says 37 degrees, we know the ambient air temperature is reading accurately. We know the thermometer because we're cold. So it would be the coolant temp sensor throwing off the computer. And the computer puts more weight on the coolant temp sensor as a general rule of thumb. Some ambient air temperatures are built into the mass airflow sensor. The mass airflow sensor also determines how much fuel is added based off the metering of the air going into the engine. It uses a heated wire. There's a couple different ways that it does it. There's a vane type, and then there's a heated wire type. But the more air, if it's reading inaccurately because of dirt or contamination on the wire, or if the vane's not opening up all the way, metering the airflow properly, either reading could be wrong and the computer will adjust the fuel accordingly. I've seen mass airflow meters completely turn the engine off. An easy test on a mass airflow meter is unplug it and see if the engine dies instantly or starts running better. If it starts running better, you have a mass airflow problem. If it dies instantly, the mass airflow meter is working normal and the computer just went, oh, I don't know what to do. So it's plug that back in and you probably need to go a different direction. Fuel injection systems can seem complicated, but they're not. It's really not. It's all pretty much basic, and because of fuel injection systems, cars are much more reliable, get far better gas mileage, much more power, and are just far more reliable. The biggest secret on your fuel injection system is change the fuel filter once a year, and once a year run a bottle of Chevron Techron through it. No reason to pay the $160 some fuel injection ultra deluxe cleaning. Just get a bottle of Chevron Techron, run it through there. That'll remove all the varnish deposits and all that good stuff, and your fuel injection system will be very happy. If you have any questions, feel free to give us a call at 816-453-8282, and I'll try to help you, answer any questions you may have to best help you. Or if I don't answer the phone, anybody that's there will certainly provide the best information that they can to give you a hand. And you can find us online at aboveandbeyondautorepair.com. And I hope this little tidbit kind of helps you understand what's going on with the fuel injection system. Again, my name is Wes Harrison, and I hope you have a wonderful day. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.